So, gentlemen, the floor is now open for questions. If you have any questions from the three presentations we had in the first session.
So hello, good afternoon to the floor and good afternoon to everybody. So my question for the last presentation of Engineer Karim, have you been present by yourself in the Eindhoven practice pilot scale that has been, you've been present by yourself, right? So you attended this?
No, it is published in a scientific article.
So this is only a collected literature?
No.
Presentation is an accurate or a lab scale that you have presented it, or you've been present with it?
No,
applied
it's
research, I mean, that you have attended by yourself, or this is a collected material? Because you have not mentioned whether it is a collected material.
Yes, just collected material.
A collected material. Then this has to be, first of all, in any scientific working, that you have to refer to that this is a collected material. Then, the second question, where came the comparison between the desalination to the ultrafiltration or microfiltration for the residuals of water treatment? I don't find an idea to compare the desalination with the treatment of the residual of surface water treatment plants. I don't see any sort of connection. You're telling us that this is a better output, but on which basis? You're talking about desalination for removal of severe salty material, which is salty water, compared to a minimal fractions of water that is containing residuals of some coagulants, okay? This is the second one, which is a vital question concerning comparison between two complete disoriented subjects. Okay, so I would have a big conservation. I cannot really pass it like this as a professor of sanitary engineering to compare between two complete different items. Okay, the third one. I appreciate all the collected data about the economics and everything, but also one question that we have to focus on, the protozoa. You mentioned the protozoa is being there kept by the filtered backwash water. Okay, then it has been retained by a sand granular medium. And then you would like to pass it through the ultrafiltration or the microfiltration. Of course, it will be, definitely it will be removed. It has been removed by the sand granular materials. Then it will be, it's of no added value to put it again to ultrafiltration. Now we have to think, putting ultrafiltration with a capital cost of membranes, putting ultra or microfiltration even with a running cost, although it would not be so high because you have collected a very good material. I've been part of these materials, by the way, so this is why I know everything about it, okay? So the microfiltration in that end mode is not costly. It's not costing. There is no cost because there is no pressure, okay? But at the end, we are spending a cost-oriented technology like ultrafiltration or microfiltration for a very small added amount of water. Okay, this is the conservations. Nevertheless, thanks for the collected data, a lot of information, very useful information, especially about the cost and the electricity. But I would appreciate taking into consideration the three points that I have mentioned. Thank you very much.
Can I answer your question? So, the residual sludge has to be treated, right? We all agree, right? And these plants are trying to recycle the water out of that sludge. As you saw in the presentation, you have about 3 to 10% from the spent filter backwash. And you have a little bit more from the microfiltration, even on the plants. Now, since all these spent wastewaters are going to have the protozoa and other organic matter and also the viruses, we need to take care of this, right? You agree?
If this is the case, yes.
Yes.
If this
So
is the case.
eventually the discharge standards are going to become more and more stringent. So all these, even the brine has to be treated. You know that you cannot discharge the brine as it is into the sea, right? We need to make sure that it is disposed of at a certain distance. We need to do the modeling studies to make sure that the dilution and it doesn't affect the shore again. So this is a part of complying with the stringent standards. And while we are doing the treatment, we are trying to see what value we can gain out of it. It could be the treated water, as he said. And his comparison on power is not to say that, okay, we should look for this. This will happen only when desal happens, right? So this is just, okay, that statement was not to compare that, you know, look, this is only 0.2 and desal is 3 kilowatt or $3 whatever. But here, the issue is, since this needs to be taken care of, this is just a fact being mentioned. Thank you.
Yes, please. One comment. I would like to thank Engineer Karim from Suez Canal Authority for his good presentation. And I would like to comment about the question of the professor, why the comparison between ultrafiltration and desalination. He could has justification that in some cities, especially coastal cities, has fresh surface water to be supplied the drinking water. But there is no permission to expand these plants. And the policy is when you have expansion, you could go to desalination. So, Mr. Karim, I think he suggests this fresh water surface plants could recover spent filter and other wet waters in the plants, treat it by ultrafiltration and save about 10% of the existing plant capacity. So 10% is will be cover the demand of expansion rather than desalination to cover this expansion demand. I think this is the justification for this comparison. Okay?
This could be a justification. You could really mention this.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Nevertheless, when we talk about the amount, it's minute. Especially if we take out the coagulants of the coagulant 8 basins, the stirring basin. But yes, your justification is right concerning if we are comparing whether I take this residual after treatment or by,
Desalination.
although it is a minute, very minute quantities. Yes,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the right justification.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more questions? Looks like either people are hungry or, okay, I think we have any more questions?
For the presentation of the itinerary
Yes, sure, Tannery.
Yes,
Can you,
yes, yes.
can you please,
It's a very straightforward. Also, thanks also, like Engineer Karim, also thanks to Engineer Karim, thanks to Dr. Mohammed for the very straightforward, maybe you mentioned it's a quick presentation, but really it goes directly to the results. It's very clear that they conducted by themselves the implementation of the coagulants and consequently the removal results are shown and presented. Thanks for the Cairo wastewater and drainage company. It's really, it was a quick and very concentrated and efficient presentation.
yes,
Thank
it
you.
was, yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions, gentlemen?
Maybe I would like to ask about the sludge from the tannery and what they are adding water and filter. What they are doing with the sludge? How you are treating the sludge?
Let him finish and then next is yours.
Okay, just the question to Mr. Johnny related to the sludge treatment. You can see that there is a huge power requirement for sludge drying. And considering the sludge as a thermal source as well, do you thought about any combination to have the thermal or the power generation to dry the sludge to be within the plant itself?
Yes, actually, our dryer system, the heat source, normally we use the natural gas. For example, the project we did in Oman, it's in a refinery plant, and the heat source we use the LPG, and the consumption. Normally we calculate as like about 30 to 40 US dollar per ton sludge, from moisture 80% to 30% or below 30%, maybe 20 to 30%. This is like a general consumption of the LPG or the natural gas. And also the total consumption, we also included the electricity based on the actual operation. So, no, actually it's a thermal. You know, the sludge is dried with the heat source, and we will recycle part of the heat inside the system, and the exhaust gas. If we have the carbonizer after drying, we will reuse for the carbonization. If only drying, there is some of the heat will be exhausted. So generates just like a sludge reduction, the sludge volume reduction. I can see, you know, right now in Egypt or in like the whole Arabic countries. In the future, the sludge treatment requirement will be growing. You know, in the past decade, especially in China, we focus more on water and wastewater. But right now, the sludge will be a headache for the governments, especially, you know, normally we use landfill, and but you know, it's not what we call sustainable way, since the land for some countries, some maybe small countries, the land is limited. So basically, what we offer is the sludge reduction solution. From like the overall sludge reduction rate can be 90%. From, for example, from 99% moisture to 0% moisture. So yeah, okay.
Basically, what you're asking is production of methane. That's the step before this one. So after you have produced the methane that could come out of the sludge, now you've got to reduce the volume of the sludge for transportation, and you've got to stabilize it, you've got to remove the harmfuls, balance harmfuls. This is what their system is doing. So,
Only in the last stage.
That's the last stage. No. That's not. What you're looking for is anaerobic digestion. So this is the sludge which comes after. This is, their process is afterwards. Yes, gentlemen.
Same question. No, she can.
I think the previous question was about producing electricity or some other resources from the sludge digestion and anaerobic process. But the common question we have here is about what you do in with the sludge and the wastewater disposal after in the Tinnery wastewater treatment plant. Do you
Okay.
have any capturing any resources from this? هو بس السؤال عشان يعني الحمقى اللي بعد ما بتعملوا لها تريتمنت يعني بتستخدموه في إعادة استخدام ليها ولا لأ والمية اللي بعد المعالجة بيحصل لها برضو إعادة استخدام ولا هي بتتخلصوا منها وخلاص؟
تخلص تماما عن المصارف ومفيش معالجه حمل. Don't reuse the sludge and the self disposal. غابات شجريه.
Any other questions? So I think we are done with this session. Thank you very much to the three speakers. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for all your questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Noah. Mr. Noah supporting me for this conference and for the in technical committee in the world from the first edition. And he come, excuse me, you have to, excuse me. الناس اللي بتتكلم لو سمحتوا عشان تسمعوني بس. الناس اللي بتتكلم لو سمحتوا اسمعوني وهنا في بريك على طول بعد الرجل. So I thank Mr. Ramis come specially, personally come to this third edition. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. It's my honor to be here. Thank you, Mr. Rami. Yes, I was gift of the committee. Because he's a member of the technical committee from the first edition. So that's true. Mr. John. Thank you for the presentation. Mohammed. Thank you for the presentation and the discussion.
Thank you.
في كوفي بريك حضراتكم